everyone, it's Shannon and welcome to the Cozy Christmas Cottage. I have so much fun every single year creating something new with these clear plastic ornaments that you can find at the Dollar Tree. They're so inexpensive and they're so versatile. You can turn these into so many different things. So I actually went to Dollar Tree the other day, grabbed this box that just happened to have 10 ornaments in it, and today I'm going to show you 10 different super easy, super quick ways to decorate these ornaments that you can use in your home for decor or on your Christmas tree this year. So let's go ahead and get creative. So Dollar Tree actually has two different sizes of ornaments. This is the larger one, and I'm going to be working with the larger one for all of these projects just to make it easier for you guys to see. This one is about 4 inches wide, but you can use the smaller ones too for most of these projects. Just remember the bigger ornaments do have the bigger openings, so if you're going to be putting things inside your ornaments, it's definitely a lot easier if you use the bigger size. So this first one, we're gonna make a Santa ornament with some tissue paper, black ribbon, some gold felt. I have a dowel rod, scissors, and a lighter, which you'll see me using here in just a little bit. So for this, I just twisted the tissue paper until it fit into that opening at the top, pushed it in, and used my dowel rod to kind of fluff it on the inside. I didn't want it to look too flat. It also helped get the whole thing in there. Next, I cut my ribbon so it would wrap all the way around the ornament. My ribbon was way too wide, so I just cut it in half and then used my lighter to heat seal the edges so it wouldn't fray. And then I cut a square out of my gold felt so that I could create the buckle. And now I'm just going to use my hot glue to attach the ribbon all the way around the center of the ornament. I also use my hot glue to attach the felt buckle to the front. All right, now this next ornament I am so excited to make. It is going to be a Grinch style ornament, and I am obsessed with the Grinch. It's always been my favorite movie, so of course I needed to throw in with this video. I also started a new tradition a couple videos back, and that is that we're gonna have a new emoji for each video and each tutorial. So today's emoji and this video's emoji is a lime green heart for the Grinch, so leave those down in the comments below. It just shows me that you're interacting, and I like to comment back on those emojis, so I would love to have you do that. We have some pom-poms here with green pom-poms. I don't need the red and the white. And then I have some red paint and a paintbrush as well, and of course my clear Dollar Tree ornament. I should also mention you can just type the word Grinch down in the comments below if you don't have one of those green emojis to click on. So here I am just adding different sized green pom-poms. I didn't do all the same size, and some of them were even different colors of green, but I thought that would really add a lot of texture and kind of give it that Grinchy fluffy look. So once my ornament was full, I used a paintbrush and some red acrylic paint and just painted a super simple heart right onto the front. Then I put the top back onto the ornament and used some polka dot red and white ribbon onto the top. It really gave it a fun, festive look. This ribbon is from Hobby Lobby. I didn't realize when I bought it that it was double-sided. So I actually really love that it kind of has a polka dot side and a stripe side, so I can use it for different projects. This ornament we're going to make into a melted snowman ornament. So Dollar Tree usually has smaller pearl beads, but I could not find them. This is as small as I could find, and I just think they're gonna be way too big. So I have these, I believe these are from some Michaels. They're little white seed beads, but I'm pretty sure you can find these at Walmart too. And we're gonna make all the little parts of a melted snowman, and our beads are going to be the snow. So I went ahead and added my seed beads first. You're going to be seeing me use these little paper funnels for several of these ideas. I just cut a piece of computer paper in half and turned it into a little funnel. And then on the inside, I added some miniature black pom-poms for his buttons, a triangle piece of felt for his nose. I tied up some ribbon for his scarf, and then also added some pipe cleaners made into his little stick arms. I'm also using a tweezers for this. I really love my tweezers. They are kind of like the backwards tweezers, so you don't have to keep them pinched. You actually let them go and they stay pinched until you push them together and then it releases. If I can find them, I will link those down in the description box because you'll see me using those throughout this video as well. Once I had all of my items inside the ornament, I added some red and white gingham ribbon to the top for the tie. Now for one that has a snowy scene in it. Epsom salt is the best thing to create a faux snow look. So we're going to be using that in our ornament along with these adorable teeny tiny trees from Dollar Tree. The great thing about them is that they're teeny tiny and they'll fit through that hole. The bad thing is they are pretty short, so I'm afraid that the snow is going to cover them up. So I have a dowel rod. I'm going to cut some little sections of dowel rod out and I'm going to hot glue them to the bottom of the trees, hot glue them into the bottom of the ornament before I add my salt to the top. So the first thing I needed to do was cut down my dowel rods into teeny tiny little pieces. So I'm using my handsaw and miter box for this. I will link this down in the description box below too. I found it on Amazon super cheap and it comes in so handy for projects like this. So once I had 3 cut down to 3 different lengths, I took my hot glue and added them to the bottom of each of the little mini trees and then hot glued those trees into the bottom of my ornaments. Again, I'm using my tweezers for this. Came in so handy for placing items inside that little bitty opening. Once I had all of my trees hot glued, then I just added my Epsom salt inside the bottom until they covered up those dowel rods up into the bottoms of the trees. If you enjoy counting down the days till Christmas, you can head over to the Cozy Christmas Cottage Instagram page. We'll be starting that fun event very, very soon. You'll also find lots more holiday inspiration over there. I'll make sure to link that down in the description box below. Hope to see you over there soon. This beach one is out of pure necessity of my own needing because I wanted to make one of these anyway. We got married this summer and went to Florida for our honeymoon, so we have some sand and some seashells from our trip, and I wanted to make a little keepsake ornament, but you could do this using Dollar Tree items. These are little shells that are from Dollar Tree. They come in those little mini bottles, and I actually used those bottles for another tutorial. And kept the shells, or they have these white ones there too, and they also sell sand, but mine today, I'm going to use our sand and shells, just put them right into the ornament. I think our sand still had some moisture in it, so it was a little bit difficult getting it out of my little bottle into the ornament. But if you purchase sand, you probably won't have this problem. It should just slide right in there. Once I had the sand in, I placed my seashells around using my tweezers again. And instead of ribbon, I decided I really wanted more of a nautical look, so I'm using some jute as the hanger. And now for a glitter ornament. I know not everybody loves glitter, but I love glitter. It is totally worth the mess to have sparkly, shimmery Christmas decorations. So this is from Walmart, but I know Dollar Tree carries glitter too. And then we're gonna be using polyacrylic. I'm pretty sure you can use Mod Podge, and I've heard you can use Mop and Glow as well, but we're gonna use polyacrylic for this. I'm gonna swirl it all around the inside of my ornament to cover it, and then I'll flip it upside down so it can all spill out, all of the excess, into a plastic cup before I add my glitter. And then the mess will hopefully be contained inside the ornament. To start, I added about, I would say, a tablespoon size of the polyacrylic into my ornament. I again used that paper funnel to help get this inside there, and then just threw that away because it's not really good after one use. And then I spun my ornament around and around till it was completely covered with the polyacrylic, and then dumped as much of the extra back into the can so I wouldn't waste it. And then I put it inside that plastic cup to drip dry, and I let this sit for about 30 minutes. And now it's time to add our glitter. I made a brand new paper funnel for this. Added as much as I thought needed for covering the outsides into the ornament. I took a rag and covered up the opening and then just shook it like crazy until it was completely covered, and then did my best to pour any excess glitter back into the bottle. Alright, so I couldn't let this ornament go without putting a decal on the front. It just was asking for one. So I designed one and cut it out with some matte black vinyl. And I will have this in my Etsy shop, and I'll link that down in the description box if you want one. It says Santa Kim. So my little ones have always had one on the tree. My mom made them one several years ago, and my son still, to this day, loves it and believes that Santa is watching him. So it might be beneficial to some of you to put one of these on your tree. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and add one onto the front. If you don't have a vinyl machine, you don't want to order from my Etsy shop, you can also use a paint pen or a Sharpie marker and just draw one on the front and create your own that way. It is really easy to apply decals to plastic surfaces like this, or even glass ornaments if that's what you're using. It is a little bit more tricky when you're working on a curved surface like these ornaments, but you just start in the middle and then you work your way out really, really slowly, making sure you press down all of the air bubbles out and all of the creases out. And once you have it completely applied, then you can remove that paper transfer tape. And now we're gonna do some Mod Podging. So this is actually real old sheet music. I ordered it off Etsy for our wedding and we just never ended up using it. And I love Christmas music. So this does not have like lyrics or anything on it, but it will kind of mimic what like Christmas carols would look like. So that's the plan here. I have some Mod Podge that is from Dollar Tree, my foam paintbrush, scissors so I can chop it all up. And you could also just Google search sheet music and print some off on some thin paper and then use that instead. But using what I have on hand, I'm gonna go ahead and do that and turn this ornament into a beautiful music Mod Podge ornament. So I started by going around and cutting the entire border off, and all I was left with was the actual music notes. Then I cut them vertically into strips so that I could apply them to the ornament from the top down. And now that we have all of our paper strips cut, we can go ahead and start Mod Podging. You want to start with a generous layer on your ornament first, lay your first strip down, and then Mod Podge right over the top of it. You're going to continue layering your paper next to each other and adding more glue underneath and on top to seal your paper in. And this one I have been looking so forward to trying. It is using alcohol ink, which you can use on lots of different things for crafting, and I have seen these ornaments. They are so gorgeous. So basically we're just gonna drip some of our alcohol ink into different spots on the ornament, on the inside of the ornament, and use some of this canned air to kind of spread it out. It'll leave a translucent or transparent kind of look and give it more of like a stained glass look. So I'm super excited. Let's try this out. I feel like you could play around and use different techniques for this. I started by thinking I wanted all these to kind of blend together. So I did a couple drops of each color into the ornament before I took the can of air to it. And then they kind of all started mixing all together. So then I kind of resorted to just adding one color at a time. So I'd add one color and then use the air, and then I'd add another color and use the air. So I'm sure different techniques will get you different results. All right, I have to just stop here and say this is so fun, and look how gorgeous. And because it's alcohol ink, it dries really quickly too. So this has been a fun project. I've seen you can make candle holders with these, and you can use them on like canvas paper for scrapbooking and card making, and ooh, these would be really cute to make like Christmas cards with. So if I can find a link, I will link these down in the description box below. Probably something new and fun to add to your craft stash. I am loving it. All right, so I'm gonna put the top back on this, add a little hanger, and it'll be ready. Snowman clear ornament, and I actually have a tutorial and it is nothing but snowman crafts. So if you love snowman, I'll put that link up in the iCards and down in the description box. You can go check that out. We're gonna turn this guy into a snowman, and I'm going to do it in a way I told myself I never ever would. So this is called Faux Snow from Dollar Tree. It's little foam balls, and so this is the same kind of thing that comes in beanbag chairs. That is kind of a nightmare, right? Because they get static cling and then they go everywhere. And so I've seen this stuff for years at Dollar Tree, and I swore I would never buy it because it just looks like a nightmare waiting to happen. But I feel like it's gonna be super cute in this ornament, and so I'm gonna go for it. And then I'll let you know if I recommend it or if this is one of those things that just never should have been made in the first place. But I'm gonna make a funnel. Hopefully that'll make it a little bit less messy. I have some orange chalk paint and a black paint pen so I can make his face. Let's try this out. Oh. Alright, so usually I speed these up and I mute them out because you guys don't really care to watch so many minutes of me crafting, but oh my, do you see these balls all over my table? I have a fan going. That's probably a really big mistake. So they are just blowing around. They look like little ants rolling all over the place. Alright, so, oh my goodness. Alright, this is for brave crafters. I actually, like I said, love glitter. This is along the lines of glitter. Like, it's like static clinging to the inside of my funnel and won't even come out all the way. Oh my heavens. Okay, go in there. I'm gonna say 1 bag would fill this ornament if they would all go in there and not be all over the place and stuck to my funnel. So here's what I'm gonna suggest. Oh my gosh. Maybe use like cotton balls, something white and fluffy, maybe some like present crinkle paper filler to make them white or paint them white. And then you don't have this nightmare that I was kind of worried about. So we're gonna put this lid on right now so that this doesn't accidentally tip over and then I really have problems, but it's cute. It's cute if you want to go through this to get to this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go get my vacuum because I think that's probably the only way this is going to get fixed. Alright, so that definitely wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but I do think I'm going to be finding those little white balls for the next year, probably in random places. But now I'm going to go ahead and add his carrot nose with the orange paint and his eyeballs with the black pen. There can always be some adventures in crafting, and this was definitely a fun one. I would love to hear which one of these ornaments was your favorite. You can leave those down in the comments below, along with those green heart emojis. I would love to see those. I would love to have you click that subscribe button so you can join us every single week here for new holiday inspiration. Click the Christmas bell as well, and also select all so you're notified when new ideas pop up. I want to thank you all so much for getting cozy with me here at the Cozy Christmas Cottage. I will see you soon. Happy holidays!